Here's what you missed on Phathead and Cande in the morning. Weekdays 6 to 10 a.m. on My Country 96.1.
My Country 96.1 Phathead, Cande Roth, looking at 35, cold but sunny. There could be patches of ice and things on your driveway in the street this morning. Just be careful. But overall,
and a little refreezing. It might have been above freezing yesterday, but we're back down below freezing this morning.
Absolutely. The main roads, I'm sure. Now, again, I'm not going to make a blanket statement here. I got to figure. Sunrise, LIE, those were salted and cleaned up last night.
Oh, yes.
They should be pretty good, I would
think.
think.
Just be careful, especially in your own driveway. That seems to be the place where you start falling down.
1,000%. I'm always like yelling at the kid, not, like giving them warnings, basic, like, watch out, that's ice. Looks like water. It's ice. Careful.
Yeah, that's the worst.
Cande, we still have plenty to get to today. Now, yesterday, when we hopped on the air, especially for some people who are joining us who maybe weren't listening yesterday, they were home shoveling out or sleeping late because the kids had a day off, whatever it was, I woke up with a very red eye yesterday.
It was very red.
Yeah, I sent you a picture, and part of the white of the eyeball even looked a little inflamed.
It did. It was a very red eye. But when I looked at it, Dr. Cande, I'm taking lessons from your mother, I said, this is not pink eye. This is irritation.
Right. Now, I was not sure, but during our show yesterday, I took in a leave, figuring what harm could it do, and the redness started to go down, and throughout the day looked a lot better, and now it looks normal. But I will be going... my first stop today will be CVS. I'm going to go talk to a pharmacist and just say, hey, what can I buy over the counter that will help, if I have dry eye, or just help, kind of keep them, watery and what they recommend. Because after we talked about it yesterday, I have to tell you, and this is not good. You got chastised a little bit, Cande.
Excuse me?
You recommended Visine. Okay?
Okay.
Now, all right, chastised is a strong word. My father...
It gets the red out.
Hold on. My father did not chastise, but he gave me a little warning. He said, Visine is not good for a dry eye problem. It actually constricts. It could make it worse. Ooh. Yes.
Well, I haven't used Visine in a long time. I think they have drops, though, for dry eye.
Yeah, he said, so he uses stuff. He says something called Soothe and another one called Sustain, and there's a couple others, but that's my first stop today. I'm going to go talk to a pharmacist, and then I have to make an appointment at an eye doctor. They got to get in there and take a look.
Oh, my goodness.
No, I've had too many issues. You do recall, about a month ago, I had a big sty on that same eye as well.
Yes.
So... Don't make fun.
You're a little anxious over an eye that is now back to normal.
But I've had too many issues with it. If it was a one-time thing...
Evan is going through a thing because he gets a repeated sty in the same spot over and over. And he's going to the specialist, and they've given him shots in the eye and the eyelid, and it keeps coming back. This time they cut it out. And they gave him a cortisone shot and whatever else. And it's still, you could see where they did it. He has not gotten another sty. So I hope this is good. But he has had it bad. And he's gotten a few shots in his eyelid. Is that what you want?
No, I'm not getting a shot in my eye. It's not happening.
Yeah, he's had a few already because he has a persistent problem.
Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start with a soothing eye drop recommended by the pharmacy that can go with eventually, I'm not putting my contacts in right now, but can eventually also interact with contact lenses. I'm going to find out what I should use. And then I'm going to get back to my vision place because I feel like they may need to remeasure the eye for my left contact lens. That could be part of the issue.
That could.
And then I may go see a real eye doctor for them to take a look in the eye and say, okay, here's what's going on. But I got to get it looked at for sure.
All right. Well, he's been going through it, and I hope this last visit will do it because they actually cut the sty out.
All right, now, I'm glad he's feeling well. You and I, as we mentioned earlier in the show, we talk a lot about health issues
We
on
do,
this
and we just took
program.
up a lot of time talking about your eye, which is now white and clear and looks fine.
So, in our stack of show prep that we get every day is actually an article about the top health questions that are Googled state by state.
All right, let's hear it.
All right, now, it's not every state, but here's a few. California keeps asking, why do I keep yawning?
Interesting. I wonder that myself sometimes.
Yeah, I yawn all day.
I,
It
I
doesn't,
yawn a lot.
I wake up from sleep, middle of the day, late at night. I'm yawning all the
Yeah,
time.
yeah, that's a good question.
On the flip side, Alabama wants to know, how do you get monkeypox?
What?
That's their top question in
There's,
Alabama.
it's a little weird
Um,
question right off the top, right?
their other one is, why do I sweat in my sleep in Alabama?
Good question. I do that sometimes too.
Maybe you need some air conditioning. Shut the windows, put some air conditioning on.
That's not why.
Arkansas wants to know, what causes hemorrhoids, Candy?
Well, I could give you some reasons, but I'm not going to.
Alrighty, good, thank you.
Yes, I'm going to save you.
Now, here's two interesting ones, because they're both northeast. Well, and Maryland, I consider Maryland northeast, even though it's a little,
course.
okay, as you're driving south, okay? But
Right.
Connecticut asks, how long does pink eye last? And Maryland asks, why are my eyes red? Those are the top questions in those two states. Maybe I have a northeast eye problem, Candy.
Maybe you do. Maybe you do.
Right? I mean, it's not. Is it coincidence that two Northeast states ask I questions like I've been dealing
Yeah,
with?
I hear you. You're a handful. That's all I know.
Florida. We always knew Florida. Look, I mean, let me just before I give you this question. Florida's an interesting state. I used to go vacation there all the time, but there's always jokes about Florida, right? Like
Of
you
course.
see articles about what people are doing, crazy articles about people in Florida. What happens when you eat mold is the number one Florida question.
Ooh, that's a good question. What
Yeah,
does happen? We're
I
not
don't
going to
know
have
what.
the answers to these questions today?
No, we're not. I don't know what's going on down there, but yet I wouldn't eat the mold. I would probably stay away. Can you live without a spleen? Is the number one question.
Yes, you can. I know someone who has for many, many years.
So it's in Illinois. That's the question. Yes, because there are people who, for many different reasons, have to get their spleen taken out.
Yes.
But you can live.
Yes.
Doesn't it fight off infection? Isn't that what a spleen
I think
is?
part of that, yes. I knew a guy in high school who had a motorcycle accident. He had to have his spleen taken out.
Mm.
I don't have an appendix or tonsils. They were both
Oh.
ripped out of me.
I knew you were lacking something all these years. You just felt different to me, Candy. I knew it.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. What age
Yes.
did you get your appendix out?
I was about, I'm going to say 25, 26. I was
And you're
working
Okay.
in traffic. And I woke up in the middle of the night and I was having terrible pain. I didn't know if it was my stomach or a female issue. And then I was It was awful. I started to get sick to my stomach, whatever. Anyway, I go to the hospital and I stayed there. I was having an appendicitis.
And your tonsils? What year was
My
that?
tonsils, though I was 9, so that was 1968, and I always got tonsillitis like every other week. I constantly had tonsillitis, and they ripped them out of my mouth. That being said, Casey always had strep throat as a kid for years, a lot of strep throat. And we had an appointment ready to take his tonsils out. And I had a friend who was married to a doctor. She was a nurse. She said, don't do it. Cancel the surgery. He'll outgrow it. And he did.
That's incredible. Wow, you got good
Yeah.
feedback there.
Yeah. So can I have my tonsils back, please? Because apparently I would have survived.
All I know is the Brady Bunch episode where they got their tonsils out and ate all the ice cream they wanted.
That's a myth, okay? They tell you that until you get them ripped out of your throat. And then you think, I can't even swallow my own spit.
Oh,
The last thing I want is anything to go down my throat.
I get it. And
They lied to me.
we'll be done. There's plenty more health questions I can go
Yes,
to,
plenty more.
but we'll be done. I'm sick. I'm sick after listening to Candy's stories. Here's the last one from New York. Top health question Googled: why are my hands so dry?
I wonder with you why your hands are so dry.
I know why they're so
They're
dry.
cracking. I've never heard of this. I mean,
I know what-
Are you out there like doing roofing in the middle of the winter? What's going on?
I know. They're very dry because I wash my hands excessively. I want to stay away from germs. And in the winter, I notice that the more I do it and then go outside without gloves, and it adds up to the cracking. And like right now, my hands are great. I got no cracking, nothing going on because the temperature has been warm recently.
Do you ever think of moisturizing every day?
I could, but it's just I don't know. I forget.
All right,
I
all right.
don't
We've
know.
talked way too much about what's ailing us.
Yes, it's time to move on. We will get into the entertainment world at about 8:12. You're bald and the beautiful. Got National Day's good news stories coming up at about 8:47. Cold but sunny. 35 for the high today. Let's hit the roads. My Country 96.1.
Phathead and Cande in the morning, weekdays 6 to 10 a.m. on My Country 96.1.